back home from a little overnight bikepacking trip, and I know I'm gonna get some questions. So I figured I'd make a video about the bags I used, the gear I took, that sort of fun thing. Let's get into it. All right, I'm gonna apologize now for the terrible lighting, all this back here, this up here. I don't have a big enough indoor space to do this with proper lighting, so this is what we're gonna deal with today. All right, let's talk about the bike first off. The bike is a Lausagla. It is a rigid, does not have that fork. And for this trip I had my WTB 2.2 slicks. Yes, that is a 2.2 road tire, aka beach cruiser tire. Gearing wise, I've got a 38 tooth up front with that 44 in the rear, and I wish I had more gears. It worked for most of the trip, but anytime you hit that 10%, you are just absolutely crawling and your cadence is garbage. So right off the bat, if I could change anything, more gears. So let's start off with the bags. All the bags except for the top tube are made from tail fin. The top tube is actually the Restrap Race Light long in the medium size. Not confusing at all. I get a lot of questions about that top tube bag, so now you all know. Starting off with the fork bag. The really nice thing that I like about the tail fin fork bag is there is no mount on this Lausagla rigid on the fork, so the tail fin actually just straps on to the fork, just some rubber straps. So I really like that. Right off the front here, I just have a 1 liter bottle attached with a rubber ski strap. That way I'm able to carry extra fluids. I actually had 2 1 liter bottles and just a regular 24 ounce bottle, and then my 2 liters on the hydro pack. So what is in bag number 1? So in the fork bag, starting off, I had a canister of gas for the stove, a couple tea bags. The weather, as you saw, was very questionable, so I took a pair of thermal leggings, long sleeve t-shirt, and then some other riding essentials just in case. Leggings for riding on the bike. I had some waterproof thermal gloves, extra pair of riding socks, and that was it for the fork bag. The downside to this bike is there's not a lot of options to put more items on the front, so all my weight I know is in the back. It is what it is, but at least I'm able to get some things up there. Let's go into the frame bag. The frame bag, I believe, is 1.2 liters. I have a small frame, so not a lot of options I can do in there. Chamois cream. And while it was a short overnighter, 130 miles, 2 days, 6K of elevation, you just never know. Battery bank, cables, recharge the GoPro batteries, my phone, things like that. Spork, knife. I did bring a torque wrench, a little torque wrench, because I put new brake pads on here and I didn't know if I was going to need to adjust the brakes or not. So this probably added a little bit of weight and was not necessary, but yeah, I brought that. Bike lock, just in case I had to run into a store real quick or anything like that. Super light, nothing fancy. I did lock my bike to a tree at night right next to my tent. So that's on that side. On the back side, there's a smaller pocket, which I just had GoPro batteries, extra SRAM battery, and an Insta360 battery. The other side of the pocket on there is like a smooth lining, and there's not a lot of room. So I find it's perfect for the batteries, keeps them out of the weather, really easy to grab, and you can actually line them up like in a row. So it's like there'll be like 4 batteries and I can just grab whatever I need to. So that is the frame bag. Top tube bag. I make content, so easiest way for me to get my camera is by having my GoPro right in the top tube bag, so I can just grab it out. Dude. So GoPro, And my top tube bag is normally just snacks. That's all I really keep in the top tube, just easy access to food. So just a bunch of snacks. I did also carry in the top tube my new little toy. Again, shout out to Cycplus for sending me this. This is their AS2 Pro. It is a little tiny bike pump that is electric. No CO2, no hand pumpy action, all that fun stuff. So I kept that in the top tube bag as well. I'm not gonna pull this, I guess I could pull it apart, but so down on the bottom of the frame, I have just a keg, just a little keg toolbox. I'm not gonna really go through all that. Just basically your essentials. So in here I have an extra pump, CO2, tire levers. I have some little watch batteries. I've got a chain link, pair of pliers, that sort of thing, all strapped down to the bottom. Find that's just kind of the best way to carry tools with me. Okay, moving on to the back of the bike. It was freezing the day that I came home, so I was wearing this puffy jacket. Folds up relatively small. I have a Patagonia one, which I probably should have took. I think this packs up a little bit smaller. This was the move, taking this. The weather was going to be hit or miss. I didn't know if it was going to be nice or terrible. It looked pretty terrible when I left. So yeah, puffy jacket, took a puffy jacket. I mean, as soon as I got to camp, I put this on right away. It was cool enough. Sleeping at night, I was actually fine till 3 a.m. with just a long sleeve on. After 3 a.m., it got a little cold. So I just took this and stuffed it in the sleeping bag, and just a little bit more heat kept me good. When I was coming home, it was freaking in the 40s, 30s. So I was wearing this most of the time, and then when I got too warm, I just had it strapped to the back of the bike. I did also take a pair of shoes. Now normally I would take a pair of sandals, but the weather was not great and it was not going to be warm, so I just took a pair of shoes so I could walk around, camp, make meals, things like that, hike around if I needed to. Yeah, the downside to that and being strapped on the outside though is if it did rain, those were going to get soaked and then I was going to be pretty much screwed, but didn't rain. Made it home without any weather issues. But it did dump down last night, and I am glad I got home when I did because I fought a ton of wind to get home. Okay, going into the actual back of the bag. Again, this is tail fin. It is their aero pack. In here, one of the things I did not need to take, but I took, was a towel. So I was actually planning staying at another campground, which was on like a creek where I probably would have gotten in the water or used the water. So I brought a towel, but I never made it to that campground. So this was just added weight that I did not need. But in hindsight, if it got too cold and I was not warm enough, there was this just in case. But so we had a towel in the back. I also have a dry bag in the back, and in the dry bag is just essentials, toiletry essentials. So toothbrush, toothpaste, some bug offs, wipes, toilet paper, and some Ziploc bags for the nasty stuff. Also back here is my sleeping pad. So my sleeping pad is a Thermarest Neo Air, I think it's the XT. It does not pack down small. You can see how big it is. It is thermal, it is warm, it is comfortable, but it does not pack down small. If I was to change anything about my kit and things that I take, is definitely I want to find a smaller, as comfortable sleeping pad, because this has some weight to it, and like I said, it takes up a big chunk. Outkit has the cloud base I've been looking at for a pretty good price. I definitely need to change to a smaller, lighter sleeping pad. That's ridiculous. However, I did recently change my tent to a smaller, lighter system. $100 on Amazon. Come on. It is the Nature Hike Cloud Up 2. Like I said, it was like $100 on Amazon. This is the tent, poles, fits completely in the back here, no problem. And it got really windy at night, and held up the wind no problem. It was on the cooler side when I climbed in, and this was actually pretty toasty. I have like a $400 tent that I took to Chile, which is a little bit bigger, and it packs down fairly small, but not as small as this. This packs down pretty small, and it is a lot lighter than my $400 tent. So Amazon 100 bucks, solid. I am super happy with that. Yeah. So that was back there. What else? And then just at the bottom is more clothes that I stuff in there. You kind of want to try to fill all the little empty spots. So I had a thermal long sleeve. Did not need to take this. I did not wear this, but like I said, the weather was really weird, so I wasn't sure what I was going to encounter. Took some extra pair of thermal long socks. Again, did not need that. My pillow, just a little blow up pillow from Nemo. It is the Filio Elite Luxury. I love this thing, super comfy, packs down pretty small, you just roll it up. And then I had a gilet, which I started out with on the first day. So that's everything in the back of the pack. Flip the bike around and I'll show you my side pack. So yeah, I have my side pack here. I could have put it on either side. Last time I tried going bike packing, I had a different bag, which caused a lot of issues. One being that when I had it on the drive side, it just made the bike feel like it was way too heavy on that side. I don't know if it was just the bag or because the cassette and everything is over there, but yeah, I ended up finally getting I think it's a 16 liter bag from Tailfin. And the nice thing about this, it goes on and off super easy. In this one, I had my pair of pants, which were also water resistant. So if I did get caught in the rain, this kind of served two purposes. This was going to be my campsite pants just to get out of my kit, but I could also throw this over my kit if I was getting dumped on. So I had that back there. This is a 1 liter dry bag, which I had that puffy jacket actually in this. So it just kind of shrunk it down a little bit. Headlamp, needs some kind of lights. So breakfast, which I did not eat because I got up super early trying to beat the weather, but this is just a Peak Refuel Mountain Berry. You throw some water in it. I took my little folding cup. I like this thing. So it's just a collapsible cup, just like that. Boom. Nice little collapsible cup. So I had that back there so I could have some tea. Nice to have tea when you get crap weather like I got. Then I have my Jetboil stove. This is by far one of the things I could save weight on, save some space on, is if I go with a smaller stove, which I will upgrade at some point because that is bulky and this is bulky. Just eliminating the actual stove piece for Pocket Rocket or even their Mighty Mo or whatever, yeah, that could save quite a bit of weight and space. So I have my stove back there. And then the last thing is my sleeping bag. This is just a Kelty, not very fancy, no frills, 50-degree sleeping bag. First time actually getting to use this. I bought it at the beginning of summer when I first was planning to go bike packing for longer trips, and fire season just made that impossible. And then I also brought short sleeve jersey in case the weather decided it was going to be really nice, which it did not, and a gator. So that was everything in my bags that I took. I did also have Silka pump in case I needed to blow up the tires, even though I had that awesome Cycplus pump, but you never know. Used a Garmin, what is this, the 840? Garmin 840, I think, solar. Yep. And then on the front cockpit, I had two lights. I had two lens island lights on the front, just in case it got dark. That's it. That's everything I packed. So yeah, if you guys got any questions or suggestions on what to do differently, drop them below. I'd love to hear. Like I said, that was my first overnighter. Really what happened was I'm at the end of the season and I'm running out of time to go do this, and I am going to be doing a review on these 2.2 road tires here. Kind of like the last test that I wanted to do before getting rid of these tires was take it on some kind of bike packing trip. Now I can pull these tires off. There's going to be a review on those tires, but the bike was super heavy. I mean, you know, there's only so much I could do. There's a couple items I could have definitely, you know, not taken, but when the weather is so questionable like that, I'd rather have taken it. The mat and the stove is the biggest thing where I could save some weight and probably should upgrade. Yeah, super happy with how the tail fan bags handled. No issues with them except for user error when I didn't have this clamped down all the way and it kind of slid off. But I will do a review at some point on the bags that I use once I get more use out of them. It seemed like a lot of stuff for an overnighter, but I don't know. It's a work in progress. It was the first one. Like I said, I just wish I had some more gears. I am so over the Explorer. I've been running it for 2 years too long now, so it's time to get rid of that. I think that's everything. If you guys got any questions or want to tell me how to do better next time, let me know. And before you guys say anything, yes, all the weight is on the rear because, like I said, there is literally no options to put anything up front on this Laufsegler size small. I could get one more 3-liter pack to put on the fork, but it's like you're not going to be able to stuff a whole lot of weight. There is no room with the head tube to put a handlebar bag. There's like between the bars and the tire clearance, there's just no room for a handlebar bag. So yeah, there's really not a lot of options of distributing the weight differently. I don't mind having all the weight in the back. It was really not that bad. I definitely need to get some more fitness or better gearing or something because 130 miles, 2 days, 6K of elevation. I got home yesterday and I was whooped. And trying to get home yesterday, man, it was a struggle bus since I left in the morning. I knew it was going to be a push, but you know, I am learning. So if you guys got anything, drop it below and let me know. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Be sure to hit that subscribe. Later.